welcome to The Cycle Will See You Now. I'm your host, Ayel Atasi, and if you're new here, this podcast is where we break down the psychology of our culture and the culture of our psyche, and of course, a sprinkle of Gen Z here and there. So today, the topic that we're going to be talking about is something that started out as a viral meme, a viral TikTok, but it has grown and expanded in a way that actually explains a lot of the things that we go through on a daily basis. So the topic for today is girl math. And for those of you who haven't heard about this topic, it is actually the way that Gen Z girls perceive money, deal with financial decisions, make financial decisions. And who better to break this down with me than my very best friend and one of my favorite people in this world, my best friend, Malak. Malak is a social media manager and she has a master's degree in finance. So she is the best person to talk about girl math and the psychology of money. Malak, welcome to the show.
Hi, Aya. Thank you for introducing me. So I'm Malak, as Aya mentioned. I have a bachelor's and a master's in finance. But ended up working in social media. Don't ask me why. So I literally I'm at the intersection of like trending content and real life decision making. So this episode will be extra fun because I literally can see girl math playing in our content strategies and in our everyday group chats. So I'm very excited and I'm very happy to be here today.
Okay, so let's start by defining what girl math is, because a lot of people, even Gen Z women, don't even know what girl math is. So girl math is basically the way that Gen Z women make financial decisions and justify purchases. So for example, if I paid for something in cash, then it doesn't count because the money never came out of my bank account. And I just want to tell this to our followers. I am not a very financially literate person, and Malak knows this.
I was doing her finances before she got married. Now her husband is doing it.
I am not the best person when it comes to money. Dealing with money and finances makes me anxious. I don't always make the best decisions. So literally like planning and budgeting for my wedding, if it weren't for Malak, I wouldn't.
If you give her money, she's like, what do I do with this?
Exactly.
Okay.
For a while there, when I was trying to save money, I would literally send it to my sister's account just so I don't spend it. That's how bad it was. My sister, I would go to her like, Thaler, can I have some money? She's like, no. Why do you want this money?
Exactly.
So I'm literally like, the person that practices girl math the most, I think, in our entire friend group. Yeah. And you are definitely witness to that.
True.
So a little bit of history about girl math.
Yeah.
So it came to be known in about mid-2023. It started out as, some women talking on TikTok, doing some videos about some like financial decisions that they've made or ways that they've justified purchases that they've made in a very funny way.
Yeah.
And slowly it became viral, and now it's like this thing, and you actually have actual research that's being done about this girl math thing.
Like facts, girl math.
It's girl math. And I've tried to explain this to my husband so many times, and he always calls me illogical.
For the past 2 days, I'm like, Google it. It's something real. It's legit. They're like, no, it's just a TikTok trend. I'm like, it's legit. Google it.
It's so real.
Yeah.
And it's something that we do on a daily basis, and we always have conversations about this. And, our listeners are going to find out more about our bad financial decisions throughout the episode. Like, we're going to be exposed.
Yeah.
So,
we have a lot to say.
So just bear with us and,
you are
practice, we listen and we don't judge. So please do not judge us.
I mean, we judge ourselves, so it's fine if they judge us.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we start off by talking about some of our worst girl math moments?
Okay, we'll start slowly, because we won't give the worst till the end.
Yeah.
Let's show them and then we know more about it, and then show them the cases that we have. Anyways, but for example, if I'm paying with Apple Pay or using a gift card, I'm not paying, right?
Of course you're not.
I didn't spend anything.
Of course you didn't. Your bank account's still the same.
Right? Thank you so much.
Changed.
Sometimes I'd buy 20 items, telling myself that I'd return half of them. And then when I get the credit, it's free money, no?
Of course it's free money.
The credit is free money.
You can spend it.
Exactly. So I end up
paid.
spending it instead of using it. It's free money, right?
I definitely agree.
Also, for example, if I walk like instead of cabbing or Ubering, I deserve a treat, right?
Of course
and
you
the
do.
treat is free because I walked.
Of course, so you earned this money. It's
Thank
free
you.
money that you get to
Thank
use.
you. They don't get it.
No, it's completely valid.
They don't get it. I'm like, it's free money. Like it went out of my bank account.
Yes.
So when it comes back, it's free.
It's free, definitely.
Yeah. So they don't get it. They just, it's not clocking to you.
But it's completely real. I think one of my worst girl math moments is, so my husband and I, when we went on our honeymoon, we paid for the hotels and the flights and everything in advance.
Yeah.
And so when we went there, the honeymoon was free.
True.
We didn't pay for it.
No.
Was I paying in cash?
No.
Absolutely not. No money
You're
was
not
coming
even
out of my
using your
bank
card.
account.
Yeah.
So I splurged.
Yeah.
I spent an insane amount of money because I justified it saying that the honeymoon was free because I didn't pay for the hotels
So we're not paying, yeah.
or the plane tickets, and we took like 3-4 flights. All of it was free.
True. I agree. I mean, why are we doing this podcast?
I don't know. We're just exposing ourselves. Like, this is so bad.
Oh my god, I can't agree yani less. I'm like, yeah, it's free, didn't pay for it, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, we're here and we're here. I'm not paying anything. Nothing is coming out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So
I get
normally
to splurge.
when you pay, it's like when you get the cash, you give it to the people. Or you get your card and you pay, you insert it. You
So
didn't do any of these.
Money is in, but no money was missing.
Yeah.
It was free.
Yeah.
I tried to convince my husband of that, but
But then you paid it after, right?
I'm still paying it. I'm gonna be paying it for a while. No, don't
Let me
ask.
stop you.
Like it's been
I
like
know.
almost
It's
6
a
months,
trauma.
and I'm trying to process how much I paid, and I just blamed it on girl math.
Till now, like last time, I think a month ago, I was asking you, no, when we're talking about our expenses, because like I spend so much and stuff, and then I'm like, no, what are like your loans / whatever you're spending? And then she's like, honeymoon. I'm like, what?
Honeymoon is 6 months ago.
I'm like, what? When was it? And I'm like, okay, I didn't ask. No questions asked.
Don't ask.
I didn't judge.
Exactly. That's why
So,
we're best friends.
I got you. Exactly.
Because we never judge each
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I love that for us.
Okay, so before we start talking finances, which you know is a topic that makes me nervous, I want to talk about something that calms me, which is psychology. I have to nerd out since this podcast is all about research and psychology. I have to nerd out. So I wanted to talk about some psychological research that actually explains why girl math is a thing.
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to talk about something called mental accounting. Mental accounting is basically the way that we budget and categorize money in our brains, and it's very emotionally driven.
Okay, it
So,
makes sense. Like
yeah.
it's like your brain is making its own little spreadsheet.
Exactly, an emotionally driven spreadsheet.
Okay.
So, like for example, like as you mentioned, like if I walk instead of like using an Uber, and then I have all this free money that I get to splurge because it's
You
free
deserve
money.
it.
It's I deserve it. Exactly. It's extra money. So another thing that sort of explains girl math is something called the licensing effect. So for example, if I skipped ordering delivery all week long, then I have this extra money and I'm giving myself a license to splurge with this money and, for example, buy new shoes, buy new dress, because I gave myself this license, like I did something good.
Yeah.
So I deserve
You
a
deserve
reward.
it.
I deserve a treat.
Yeah.
And we always talk about
totally-
like I deserve a treat. I had a bad week. I deserve a treat.
Yeah, totally. And like it makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense to me. And we normalize it because we see people online doing it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we live in a hyper consumerist world where like there's always pressure to buy.
Yes.
Whether it is fashion, clothes, tech, everybody has their own weakness.
Yes.
So when we survive a week without spending, we feel like we need a reward that keeps us going. It's like emotional investing.
Exactly.
And I say survive, and I highlight the word survive because nowadays with social media and all like the smart devices, smartphones, laptops, etc., it's very hard not to see the latest trends. Like every single application on your device keeps pushing ads, influencers, and content that is literally tailored to your exact taste.
Yes.
So the algorithm knows what you want and it keeps pushing it for you to see. So it becomes harder and harder to resist.
True.
So obviously, yes, we need emotional rewards to keep us going, no?
That's how
'Cause
we
you can't-
validate ourselves.
Yes, because if you keep, listen, it's like dieting. When you diet, you can't just go on a straight diet, like from eating everything to eating nothing or very healthy or restricting yourself for like a very long period. Because if you don't reward yourself, if you don't have a cheat day every week or every 2 weeks, you will move from like having everything to having nothing, and then after a month you will خلاص, no, I will go back to eating everything again. So that's not a solution.
True.
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, it is valid that we reward ourselves, but I think it shouldn't be as frequent as we do.
Yes, and also it depends on what. Like when we say, for example, I walked, I deserve an iced tea or a dessert, okay, that makes sense. But for example, going and buying a bag for like 4 or 5K, that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Because also it has to be proportional to your budgets and expenses.
True.
Okay, I can get out of the line a little bit, but it should always be like a specific percentage or a range that you can still cover for in the few next month.
Told you guys she's a finance expert. Like I don't even understand what she's saying, but you guys,
Whatever.
I agree with her. Listen, I would walk to like the end of the earth to hell with this woman. But I don't know what she's saying right now, but I hope you do.
I used to tell her like, okay, Aya, for example, okay, what do you want to do this month? She's like, I want to travel, I want to 1, 2, 3. Okay, I create a spreadsheet, whatever. I budget it, and then I'm like, okay, so for you to be able to do all of these things, you need to spend X, Y, Z on this and save it. She's like, okay, done. When I receive my salary, I'll tell you, I'll forward this, and that she never asks, like she trusts me blindly with you.
I do. Okay, so I want to nerd out a little bit more before we go into like the finance talk that you love.
But I love the psychology part though.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very interesting to learn about actually.
I mean, it makes me justify more.
Exactly. Now you have a scientific reason behind it.
Yeah, please send me these terms.
Of course, I'm sending you the full list of references. Okay, I wanted to talk about something else, which is the planning fallacy, which is sort of like what you talked about with budgeting. So basically, what we tend to do to justify our purchases sometimes is that we overestimate how much we're going to be able to save in the future, and then we underestimate how much future expenses are going to be. So for example, I'll say that I can spend an extra 3K this month, and then I'll just make up for it and save next month. But I don't like think ahead and say I can't save 3K next month because I have like something to pay off, or I need to, do something important with this money. I just always I procrastinate basically, and I say, I'll just save up next month, or I spend less next month. I forget about it, exactly. And then I'm stuck with having to pay last month and then next month, and then I'm stuck in this cycle because it's always based on how I'm feeling in this moment.
And you're always in debt because of this, right?
Of course, I'm always in debt,
Not just you, I'm talking you means in general, not just you. Yes, you.
All of us who practice girl math are definitely in debt because of
but at least you practice math, whatever kind of math, but it's math. Right?
Exactly. I always tell my husband I'm good at math.
Yeah, you are.
I just never say it's girl math.
You are. He knows. By now he knows.
He knows.
Oh my god, the first time you mentioned it in front of Jalal, I was here.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is this girl math? We're like, oh, you don't know it? He's like, oh, okay, it's a TikTok trend. I'm like, no, this means 1, 2, 3.
And you know what's funny is that we used to do these things all the time, and we never had a label for it.
Yes.
And then
we'd say, you don't understand.
Yes, and I used to do it, and you used to do it, and a lot of other people that I've met, girls, of course, Gen Z girls, have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And then we never talk about it. So you always think, oh, it's just me, I'm the one who does this, other people don't think like this. And then when it got labeled, when it was called girl math,
it got
viral, and we started bonding over it. You feel like there's a community of people who actually understand you.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the crazy one.
Exactly. You feel validated and you feel understood.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a community that supports you and does the same thing.
And even the opposite now, if a girl doesn't think like us, you're not normal.
Yes.
What do you mean?
I don't know how it happened, but it's just a thing.
Yeah, it can't. There are percentages, yes. There are some girls that like are crazy, and they justify like crazy purchases. As I said, like for example, your salary is 10K, and you go and you buy. For example, you have expenses of like 6K a month, and you go and you buy a bag with 7K. That doesn't make sense because like
that's just
even with a credit card, exactly. So it doesn't make sense. There are these crazy level girls, but then there is us.
Yeah, we're reasonable.
We're in the middle.
We're definitely reasonable.
And there are some girls that are more of like, I prefer not to bring joy to myself, and like it makes sense because financial health is kind of mental health. So she's like, if I'm okay, I know I'm not overspending, I have money in the bank in case like I have any emergency, whatever. But at the same time, what, like, you don't have any motivation. Like, for example, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to have like their own businesses. In fact, I know for both of us it's the case. So we don't like going to work from 8 to 6 and doing all the, like, you know, let me not start. But so it's very annoying for us to go. But my motivation is that I get money at the end of the month to be able to go to restaurants and eat food that I like, to be able to have more clothes and like be a fashionista and whatever. So that's motivation. So if I don't have these things and I'm just going for work to get money and then put it in the bank, why?
Yeah.
I'll just sit at home.
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing with the money?
Sure. We're supposed to enjoy it, like to an extent. We're supposed to
it's good to save. I'm not saying spend all of it, but I just don't understand people that do not spend at all. Because if I'm saving for what? Like we've seen in older generations, they used to save a lot for their kids. They've always said, and not from a very young age, they tell you it's for you. It's for you when you grow up. Okay, it's good to save. It's wonderful. It's great. Thank you so much. When I grow up, I find funds. But you have to reward yourself from time to time and spoil yourself, because if you don't, who will?
True.
No one. And somebody gotta enjoy it. Like if every generation keeps saving for the next one, then okay, what are we living for?
True.
Right?
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like emotions and motivation, all of that. So there's something called affective forecasting. Okay. And you and I, we have discussed it, but without actually naming it, without labeling it. So it's basically, so Malak and I do this thing where as soon as our salary drops, we already have our cards full for like a lot of money, and it's not justifiable. And we make this order, and I'm gonna mention like it's Shein.
It's not just Shein. Now for me it's Fashion Nova and Shein.
For me it's just Shein. Alhamdulillah, it's just Shein and Amazon, to be fair. So for Amazon it doesn't count because Amazon delivers like next day or same day. Right. But for Shein it sometimes delivers like 10 days later. So what we do is it's a smart investment, by the way. Yeah. You make the purchase now, because when it comes in 10 days you're gonna be so happy. Yes. So you're thinking forward, you're thinking ahead. Yeah, of course. And you are making an investment now because you know it will make you happy in the future. So you're forecasting exactly. You're forecasting how you're going to feel in the future. So that's smart.
That's me with like clothes and food, honestly. Like for me, I can know that buying a new outfit or like having a meal in Cheesecake Factory will like make up my whole mood and week. And sometimes it does, honestly, most of the time. Yes. Like I know I will buy this outfit, okay, and I will wear it like next week, let's say. By next week, you don't know what happens during the week. Like, or okay, I got my salary today, I'm happy. But then in like 10 days, I'm gonna be back, I'm like, okay, I don't have any money anymore, and I'm going to work, and I'm not in the mood. So I have a new outfit. Exactly. That cheers me up, and I'm excited. So that actually, whatever you named it, what is it again?
It's affective forecasting.
Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah. Told you. Told you. We're gonna convert people, actually. It's a conversion.
Everybody's gonna be practicing girl math.
Whoever doesn't know about it, I'm like,
Millennials. Ew. Yeah. Okay, so let's dive in to the nerdy finance stuff. Okay. So, Malak, based on your knowledge of the social media world, the content creation world, and obviously the finance world, can you tell us a little bit about what you've noticed Gen Z spending habits and financial decisions are like?
Okay, well, as we said, Gen Z is a very unique case. Honestly, we're very aware of money issues. Like, now you can hear them, we can hear all of us like talking about inflation, the job market and everything. We know it's there, but we're already very we're also very big on spending and on experiences, not just things. If you noticed, like, we have this emotional and social value attached to every single thing we buy, and not just things, experiences, especially if we can share it or post about it in social media, of course. So there's always like this mix, which is like YOLO, you only live once, and at the same time financial anxiety, because we are aware of money issues, so they're always fighting each other. So, but we're very aware of money issues. Like, people tend to say that we're careless, but no, we know. Sometimes that's a bigger problem, because we know, we have self-awareness, but we're not doing anything about it. But at least we have that awareness.
True.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to see, your expert opinion on some of like the investment and business decisions that Gen Z is making, because based on what I've noticed, like the people around us, like our close friends groups, when comparing like Gen Zs and millennials, because we're friends with both, obviously, I noticed that a lot of our Gen Z friends either have their own businesses or are working towards establishing their own businesses. Meanwhile, if you look at like our millennial friends, they're not really focused on that. I don't know if it's something in our culture, it's something like that came when we came into existence. Is it the job market? Is it the world? Like, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Actually, I'm very proud of that, because Gen Z, a lot of Gen Zers are like starting to invest and having their own businesses way earlier than millennials. And that's a good thing, because we're actually... They always say, they tend to say, no, we're lazy, that's why I want to be entrepreneurs, because we don't want to go to work early. No, why don't you take it from the positive side, that we actually are aware of, like, there are other ways than the usual systematic thing where, like, okay, you have to, like, study and then get married and then you work and then you have to stay, like, our parents used to stay with the same company for, like, 30, 40 years.
My mom's been in the same company for 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's how it is. That's the system. And then you're going to find, even if it's a good job and it's paying well, and you have to stay, there's no like get out of the box, do your own thing. Like, it didn't exist. But now, and even for investing, like, I found it very accessible and easy nowadays compared to like millennials time, because there are like these applications like Robinhood, etc., and like financial TikTok, especially TikTok. It helped people gain awareness about like these side hustles and like investing and stuff. And I think, like, I have a friend that like he's 21 now, and mashallah, he's millionaire,
mashallah,
just because of investing. And like, I didn't believe him in
investing in exactly.
It's a mix.
Okay.
Because like I will try to explain, but you will not understand. Like, don't put all your eggs in one thing. So like there are exactly. So there are like stocks, art, digital agencies, art, a lot of things. But mashallah, he's doing very good. Like, I used to believe in him, but not that much. And I used to think, yes, he will make it, but not to that point. And now, mashallah, he's like millionaire. So yeah, sometimes it works. So why not? Like, and it's something that you can do while you're working. Like, for example, now we're working, I'm trying to open my own business, and like you're doing your podcast, so it's something that we're trying to do while working. That's like double the effort. We're actually working and going to work and thinking about building a future for ourselves so that we can stop working one day. So I don't understand why they say, we are lazy, or we don't want to work, or I just don't get it.
We're just, I don't want to say work smart, not hard. we're working smart and hard at the same time.
Yeah.
We're planning for the future, but at the same time, we're not wasting time.
Yeah.
We're doing everything that we can at our jobs, but at the same time, we're thinking ahead and planning ahead.
Things are evolving. So, like, okay, I understand our parents didn't have this digital word and they don't know how it functions and how it works and how it brings money. But we are here, we're evolving. We can't stay, like, stick to the system. We just, we deal with it.
Yeah. So, we talked about some of the smart decisions that Gen Z is making. What about some of the financial weaknesses that you see when it comes to Gen Z?
I'd say consistency. We don't have that. Like, we have this culture of extremes. So we always either want to spend it all or save it all.
Yeah.
And like, I noticed that it's very hard for us Gen Zers in general to find the middle ground, especially when we see on social media that someone is doing it better. It doesn't mean that someone is doing it better, because I believe that everyone has his or her own plan and own circumstances. Something that worked for you cannot work for me, and vice versa. So when you see someone successful, it doesn't mean that you have to follow the same exact formula. That might not work for you because you have different circumstances, you have different goals, you have different KPIs, you have, so but we can't help the fact that we get influenced by seeing someone doing the right thing. So we're like, okay, we're not going to be able to do it because look at him or look at him.
You don't think about what they went through in order to achieve what they did. You just think it came easy.
Yes. Exactly. That's two things. That's consistency. No, we start and then we're like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not. Why are they succeeding and not me? So so we stop it. Exactly. Basically, comparison and consistency. So these are the two weaknesses.
Okay. What about when it comes to debt? How do you think Gen Z is handling debt, and why? I feel like we are talking about it now more than ever, especially like on social media.
Honestly, there is a growing awareness of that, like for us Gen Zers, because I feel like lately, as I told you, everybody wants to start, for example, his or her own business, etc. So they tend to go to easier options, which are debt. For example, our parents used to, for example, save a lot of money to be able to take a very minimal debt. They used to hate like banks and debts and interest and stuff. For us, it's like there is resignation. It's very easy. It's just a given. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the bank, sign some papers, and it's a given thing. You know what I mean? That's bad. And there's also the credit card debt, which is like,
oh my god,
don't get me started.
I have a huge bill to pay.
Don't get me started. And the worst, what's the worst?
I know what's coming.
Buy now, pay later. It's like Tabi, Tamara, and everything. That's the best and the worst. I honestly love them. I use Tabi a lot, but at the same time, it's the worst because it's like, it's mind tricks actually, because your brain thinks that, oh my god, I made a deal, I paid 500 for a 2k worth bag, for example, and okay, so I made a deal and I gained like 1.5k. Your brain doesn't understand that actually you will be paying it. So what does it doesn't stop here. I'm like, okay, I made a bargain, so I look for more.
You have an extra 1.5k.
Exactly. So I look for more deals, and the last thing you know is that, like, okay, I increased my monthly expenditures, but like
instead of paying 2k once, you're paying 2k every single month for 4 to 6 months.
Yes, exactly. And that's the worst. Honestly, that's the worst. Yeah. Like, I've seen people spending crazy money because...
And you know what? Like, for example, I use Tabi a lot, and every month they increase their limit. Yes. It used to be 3k, and now last time I checked, it was like 8k.
Yeah, and like what do they call it? The repayment period. Yeah. It used to be 4 months. Now you can go up to 12 months.
24 months even.
But what the thing is, what people do not know, 12 months, 24 months, but there is interest. Yes. When you exceed 4 or 6 months, I think.
After 4 months?
4 or 6 months, there's interest.
Yeah, and it's a good amount actually. Like last time I was on the app and I was trying to buy something, and I was looking, like there's an option for 6 months, 12 months, and then I saw like you have to pay like maybe like 20%
Yes.
worth of your cart, you have to pay it in interest, and that.
Yeah, people don't see it, especially if they're using the card. Like for me, I use it only on application. I don't have the actual card. People that have the actual card, they don't know because they just swipe the card or whatever. So they don't know that like actually if you split it into more than 4, you will have like so much to pay.
Yes, true.
You might be paying the same amount, just like in taxes or interest.
Yes, of course. Yeah. It's very bad.
Yeah.
But
it's helpful.
I don't know. It's a very toxic relationship.
It is.
After my cat, that's the second toxic relationship that I can handle.
Okay, so we've talked about like the good, the bad, like what we're doing well, what we're not doing so well. Can you give our Gen Z listeners, and even not Gen Z listeners, any listeners, some financial advice from your perspective as a financial expert?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not Mother Teresa, but no, I'm just trying. As I said, consistency. Just try not to be extreme. I personally have these things where like sometimes I'm like, okay, I only live once. I'm just gonna spend all of it. خلص يعني I'm working to actually reward myself and buy things and sometimes I'm like, no, you know what? I'm in my saving era. I'm not gonna buy. And sometimes it's frustrating because I'm working and I'm not able to like buy anything. So you just have to be consistent and you have to like be organized. Just like track your expenses. Allow sometimes some like ranges like plus 200, 300. 1,000, whatever, so that you can afford or not. And if you treat yourself this month with like something big, try it next month and okay, this month I'm gonna be chill, I'm gonna calm down. Just try to like track your habits, your spendings, and also build an emergency fund. That's very important.
This is something I've learned from her and I've been practicing for the past 2 years, and it's honestly saved me so many times.
And when I say an emergency fund, that doesn't mean is like, okay, that's like money in my saving account, and if I need something or if I want something and I'm not able to buy it with my salary, I go to it. No. She knows I was in like very desperate situations and I never touched it, and you told me you literally have money in your saving account, why don't you just use it? I'm like, I can use this if I'm dying, if I'm in the hospital, if I'm sick, if like somebody's dying around me, I will use it. But I will not just use it to like be able to go to the restaurant or buy something. And that's, by the way, the first step to real financial independence, because people tend to think that like when you work and you're able to buy stuff for yourself, that's financial independence. That's not financial independence. When actually you have this emergency fund where like it brings you peace. It allows you to, even when you risk like your other money and lose it all in something, even you're crazy, you go, you invest, whatever, it doesn't work out and you lose it all, you have this in case you lose your job, in case you get sick. That's what makes you feel, no, I'm okay. Even if I lost my job, I do have something to survive. I'm sick, I do have money to go to the doctor. It's fine. Even if I spent a lot or I lost a lot while investing in whatever, this is the real financial independence. It's not just being able to buy and go to restaurants and then when I get sick, okay, mom, dad, friend, whatever. So just, even if it's small, you keep adding to it. Just build it. Just have this culture where like, okay, I'm gonna have this and it's a real emergency fund. It's like, consider it, how do I say it? Like somewhere you put it in a closet and you don't have the keys. You can't open it. So you open it when it's like extremes. You bring someone and that crashes it and like you get the money when you're dying. But other than that, don't touch it.
Guys, definitely listen to her. Honestly, it's very, very, very helpful.
Honestly, it is. And actually you saw that and you told me like, I don't understand, why are you like crying and trying to figure out and like you're working hard, etc., while you have the money. I'm like, no, this is something else.
We pretend like it doesn't exist. Unless we like really,
and you saw that I was right, because whatever it is that's not like life emergency or death or sickness or whatever, it can be figured out.
Yes, true.
This is the only case where like, no, okay, if I'm sick, يعني لا قدر الله, or like you're dying or whatever, yes, you can use it. But other than that, anything else can be figured out. It's fine. Just don't touch it.
True. I definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to go back a little bit to girl math. So do you think there is like any cultural pressure, cultural expectations that forced us into the corner that is girl math?
Definitely, especially for women.
Yeah.
Because there's always like this unspoken expectation that to keep up appearances and yet still be responsible. So it's like a creative loophole where like we're using this humor, which is girl math, to actually keep up with these like impossible standards.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to look good, go to like meetings and be on top of my shape and like fashionista, etc., and yet be responsible while, for example, we see the inflation, we see the prices, we see, and if I want like, you know me, if I want like, even if it's Shein, I buy from Shein, but still, if you want like good quality stuff and like, you have to spend money. You have to just spend money. So how can you be responsible? Like my mom tells me, no, I don't understand how you spend every single month on clothes. I'm like, yeah, because
there's new trends coming every month.
And now it's not just about the trends. Like, for example, for my work, when I go to meetings, even if the client is not worth it, I always like, I'm going to a meeting. So I actually wear meeting clothes. I can't like just go to a meeting with jeans, you know what I mean? So you just have to keep up these standards, let's say, that we put to ourselves, and like, you can't. You have to buy every single month or two. She's like, we used to buy once in a season. Like, for example, for summer, we buy like, okay, we go one time.
And they reuse the items every summer.
Yes. And like, and they, for example, if they're like siblings, they pass on to each other. They don't buy new clothes. And like, I'm competing with myself. I have 20 different personalities. I'm a Gemini, guys. That also plays a role. So I'm like, I can't. I have to have all the styles, and I have to have like, you know me. I'm a fashionista, so I can't. I just can't. How can you be responsible? I try to, but I can't not buy.
Yeah.
You have to, like, even if it's one item, two items. And it's actually useful because I get depressed when I have to go to work and I don't have something new to wear, or I'm going to a specific occasion, or I have a meeting, or I have an event and I don't have something to wear.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing here? So I have to buy at the end. Girl math, not girl math. I have to buy. End of the story.
All right, well, Malak, thank you so much for this absolutely fascinating discussion. You know, I learned a lot, and I hope you learned some nerdy psychology research as well.
I have more facts. I'm like, I'm ready. Come argue with me. Come argue. I have facts. I have scientific research. Come argue.
And I have financial knowledge that I didn't have before, so that's always great. I hope this knowledge sticks with me.
And ask me about it. It's fine. It's fine.
This girl knows me so well. What can I do?
Yeah, it's fine. We learned from each other. No, it was a very interesting topic and discussion. I really enjoyed it, and I hope they did, and I hope they learned something from this discussion. Honestly,
I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned some new financial information, and you know, I hope I gave you some more information about like psychological research regarding girl math. I hope you guys believe us now when we say that girl math is a valid thing.
It's a thing. It shouldn't be taboo anymore. So.
Exactly. And I hope you practice girl math with knowledge, with awareness now. And definitely, you should definitely listen to what advice Malak gave us about savings and about, you know, spending habits and all of that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as I said, I hope you learned something new. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at The Cycle Will See You Now. We post a lot of cool posts there, so be sure to follow us, like, comment with what other topics you guys would like us to talk about in future episodes. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.